ATC is intent on getting bigger and bolder, and taking more leadership in really addressing a humanitarian crisis that is only getting more and more dire. And we feel like we need our community to be in there with us. And so tonight is just one small step in keeping you engaged, hearing from you, learning from you, and asking for your commitment to stay engaged with us, so that we can really create large-scale change. And I do believe we can do it if we mobilize the right people in the right way, and we persist until we get it done.
Folks are in need of supplies and resources right now, but hours are different, places are closed. So a lot of time is spent, because it changes, trying to figure out that information and get it to clients, especially around getting IDs and getting access to services like benefits like CalFresh, stuff like that.
So instead of us being able to go to a client or to meet them at like a Starbucks or whatever, they have to come to us, to our office, and we meet them at the door, and there's 6 feet of distance between us. And we're still able to give, like, we have like our food pantry still in the office, so we're still able to give food, and like we do like case management stuff over the phone, even in person, like with the 6 feet of distance, which makes it a little complicated, but we're making it work.
And I think a big thing is problems that have already existed for our clients are just kind of being magnified by the pandemic as well. The feeling of isolation, I think, is even more so than ever because of social distancing.
From what I've heard from clients is that it takes advocacy to get into a hotel. It's not like you can't just kind of like walk up and access it. It takes a provider, it takes an advocate to help you get in there.
It's tragic more than it is hopeful, but I do see hope in it. You mentioned campers and you mentioned hotels. It's shown that these things have always been possible. We are able to help people. There are options out there. And if we want people to have the choice of not being outside, we're able to create that choice, and we're able to give people those options and respect their autonomy. I think these are all things that are possible. And I hope that it's harder to go back to the argument that it's not, or that it's not important after this, because we're really as strong as our most vulnerable citizen. And this kind of shows how interconnected we are.
Yeah, I think if housing was considered a human right, and same with other things, the accessibility and the urgency would just be different. We have clients now that maybe are, they do an interview, they go to a shelter, they do this, and this process to get housing can take over a year. And you're asking folks to wait over a year who are in day-to-day survival to be patient for a room.
If we came from the perspective that housing, healthcare, that pretty much these essential needs are in fact essential and not privileged and not a measure of how worthy you are in society, it would save us a lot of the work we have to do. So much of the work is navigating systems and convincing people that our clients are worthy of something. And I think if we come from the perspective that these things are essential needs, we get to spend more energy advocating. We get to spend more energy helping clients thrive rather than simply survive.
I think a lot of maybe what people are thinking is like, we don't have the money, or we don't have the, like, everything that we need to like solve homeless. We have it all. It's all available, So I think the main thing is just like getting people like educated and informed, and like building upon that to make a community like of people to like push forward change.
I think the first step is for our city to make a commitment to these entitlements that we've talked about on the phone, create the strategy, and basically make the promise and say, here's what it's going to take, and we're going to have to find the money, but it's out there. Let's bring people together. So we've seen that with COVID. A lot of money has come into a COVID response, as well as a lot of previously unknown housing options have become available too over the last 3 months, where we're getting a lot more people housed. So as Kia said, the resources are there. Let's not pretend like they're not there. It's just, do we have the will? Do we have the strategy? And do we stand at the table or sit at the table together long enough to make it happen?